So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So what we have here today is the all-new 2022 Honda HR-V S base variant. So I would like to thank Miss Pam, Miss Rycel, Sir Arnold, and Honda Alabang for allowing me to review the all-new Honda HR-V. So their contact details will be in the description down below. And what I can say about this all-new Honda HR-V, I am really a big fan of this design. Also, being the base Honda HR-V, you have a black bar grille instead of a mesh grille, unlike the turbo variant. And I would say I do like the black bar grille instead of the mesh. This suits the HR-V a little bit more. I mean, if you're gonna get the HR-V turbo, just swap it out if you want. And also, being the base variant, you have black headlight extensions here on the side, and also being the base variant, you have taller ground clearance. So ground clearance is 196 millimeters. That's 15 millimeters more than the V turbo. However, being the base variant only, you expect this to be halogen lights. No, these are all LEDs all around, even the side turn signals. But unlike the turbo variant, they don't auto fold. But that's only the few differences, mainly for the exterior. And I would say, just looking at a bit more, comparing with the V turbo variant, this just looks a little bit cleaner, as I said. And also the black bar grille is gloss black, same with the V turbo, but that's fine because it's on the outside anyways. I do love the side profile now of this all new HR-V. I mean, just look at it. There's a bit more Euro vibes with this new Honda HR-V. And also, being a crossover, I forgive it though, the cladding is not as much as you expect. And I do love the 6-spoke wheel. I think that V turbo, if not mistaken, just looks a little bit better, but I don't mind it. And also very funky with this HR-V. Like the previous gen, you open the doors from here. That's something I really like. And also, watch this. Closing the door, you can literally close it with one finger, and it's fully shut. I mean, look at from this shot instead. My favorite part of the all-new Honda HR-V has definitely got to be this rear. I mean, just look at it. There's something though with this design I don't like, but that goes for the interior only. I'll get to that in a bit. But for the rear, you have a massive LED light bar. Despite being a base variant, it's still all LED. And also your badge here for the Honda is gloss black. I don't mind it because it's on the outside anyways. And also, what is nice, there is no fake grille here whatsoever. The real exhaust is on the side. And yes, also being the base variant, you only have an HR-V designation here on the left side. But if you have the turbo, there is a turbo badge here on the side. And also, unlike most of its competition for the crossovers, there is no blacked out here on the side, so it doesn't give a floating roof design. And open the boot up. With all the seats up, you have 335 liters of space. And look at this fancy tonneau cover. Yes, it may be thin only, but it serves a good purpose. And you can just simply remove it and fold it down. And not much toys here. You have 2 tethering points, 2 LED lights, and grocery hooks on either side. And then the load lip is not that tall. You can just really slide stuff on it. And then you have a space saver donut type tire underneath. And then with all the seats down, there's no official figure, but I assume the capacity doubles. And also being a Honda HR-V, like its younger brother, former younger brother, the Honda Jazz, there is a lot of modes with these seats. So you have utility mode, which is of course all the seats down. You have long mode. You can fold the front passenger seat now to increase space. So example, if you're transferring houses, actually this will do for me, to be honest. And then you have tall mode. This is a really quirky feature with this Honda HR-V. So you have to pull this thing under and then fold the seats down. But to lock it in place, you have to push it just a little bit harder. There's a lot of space, as you can see. So that's about it with the exterior and the boot space of the all-new HR-V. I'll show you the interior. So here in the interior of the all-new Honda HR-V. Okay, that sounds solid. The door is heavy. And also you have the same sound effect when you get in, like in the Honda Civics. And also, look at this. As I showed you earlier, you can close this door effortlessly. That's fully shut already. That's something a bit weird, but anyway. Start it up, it's quite hot. Also, your engine start-stop button is a gloss black, and there's a red illumination like the Honda Civic. Disclaimer, I already drove this first before I shut my stuff here. And also the aircon is so freaking cold. And speaking of the air conditioning, I'll lower it down so you can hear me. It is a similar layout with the Honda Civic. Civics. I mean, I'm not sure if the V had the digital here in the middle in the chrome, but the layout is exactly the same in the Honda Civic. And then yes, door card, plastic here and there. You have soft pad only here. And then you have a conventional window switches. It's also angled, and you have 2 cubby spaces and cup holders on either side of the door. My water jug just fits all right. And then here on the left side, also something like the Civic, the air conditioning vents, and also the left side is just a little bit clean, but I mean cleaner than most of its competition. There's not much buttons here. However, for this Honda HR-V, you have 3 blank buttons here, and then there's a coin tray just below that. The steering wheel here, there's good amount to feel. It's really soft. And then there's gloss black buttons here for cruise control and then your volume control. So there's a button here beside the digital instruments. That's for your brightness for the digital display. And then here you have an analog tachometer, speedometer, and then there's a 4.2 instrument cluster in between that. There's a lot of info there, but it's a little bit confusing at first, just being honest. And then also when it's in eco mode, it turns green. It won't illuminate unless you move forward. Below the infotainment system, yeah, this part on top is plastic, but below that it's somewhat leather mixed with plastic. And also like on the Civic, the hazard button is just below the infotainment system. And then here you have your infotainment system. Looks like a little bit of a TV. There is not much to play it, but as you can see, it is crisp enough. And then reverse camera is similar to the Civic, not the best out there, but at least there still is. And then below your air conditioning vents, you have 2 USB ports on each side for your top cubby space. My phone fits there, and then you have another cubby space below. My phone also fits, but it has to be vertical. Then you have a lone 12-volt socket here. And then here in the center console, it's plastic here, but there are soft pads on where your knees are, so it will be a comfortable experience when you drive this Honda HR-V. And speaking of driving, I missed 2 parts only what I said with the driving dynamics. The steering, no matter what mode, eco or normal, and the sport mode here in the gear lever, the steering is light. So driving this, as I said, later on in the drive, or earlier for me, driving this around the city or even faster speeds, it is very, very easy to drive. And then the brakes, also probably among one of the best out there for its competition, for the subcompact crossover cutter. But I can say it's better than my favorite Chevrolet Tracker already. Anyway, going back here in the gear lever, it's gloss black, but look at that, it's really dirty. I don't like that, just being honest. And then the gear lever itself is polyurethane, and then covering it there is a leather with black stitching. And then here further you have 2 cup holders with plastic grips on them. However, my water jug doesn't go all the way in, but it still holds it in place, so it still passes. And then beside that, you have eco button, hill descent control, electronic parking brake, and your brake hold. Seats here, they're fabric, also hence being the base variant, but there's nice bolstering to it. I mean, look. So driving this earlier, if you watch it later on, I didn't fly around that much, so I do like the seats. Comparison with the Honda Civic RS, there's actually just one in front of me. The seats of the leather one, it's a little bit harder than usual. So I'll be honest, sitting here in the fabric seats, just a little bit more comfortable and just a little bit softer. And then you have your center console box. This one is leather, surprisingly. Okay, it's decent enough at least. And then above here, you have your light controls, and then you have your visors. There's a vanity mirror with light. The visor is thick as well. The Civic cannot do this. They extend. Alright, good job Honda. And then also headline material is good. It's nice to the touch at least. Glove box. Okay, that's massive. Alright. And then speakers. Okay, it won't be as good as the Civic RS, but it's still good enough. I'm a bit biased with the Bose speakers in the Civic RS. So with that, here in the front, I'll show you the rear seats. So here in the rear of the Honda HR-V, and there, close it like that effortlessly. It's already shut. But let's just check the quality. That sounds really, really solid. I think somewhat similar with the Honda Civic. And then here, the door cards is all plastic. Also, there's a cup holder as well here in the door, but sadly my water jug won't fit there. But smaller bottles, I assume, will fit there better. And then you have 2 map pockets on each side of the seat. You have, thank God, air conditioning vents here in the middle, despite being the base variant. I know the base Civic S doesn't have this. correct me if I'm wrong. And then there's a weird cubby space there. My phone surprisingly fits here. Yes, you have a sexy ass rear with this HRV, but look at the headroom. I've had that much. I am only 5'4". So around 5'7", 5'8", might tend to struggle here just ever so slightly. But as you can see, feet room and knee room is excellent here. As I said earlier, for 6-footers, just use stall mode. And then also, despite being a base variant, you still have central armrest. But it's like the Civic, they just go, they just fall down. And sadly, my water jug doesn't fit. But I assume bottles will fit here, no problem. And then another thing I noticed, there's a third seat belt here on the right side only. So Honda are marketing this that they can fit 3 people here in the back. One problem, the seat here is really elevated. This is also probably one of the most elevated middle seats I've seen in a car so far / crossover. So if I sit here in the middle, transmission tunnel, no issue. It's very small, it's very narrow. You can just simply put your feet up or on the side. But headroom now, hold on, get me into shot. This is the problem. I'm 5'4", by the way. That's my headroom if I sit here in the middle. So yes, the smallest person in your squad or family member or your kid has to stay in the middle in case you're 5 people on board. Yeah, that is the only issue I found here with this HRV. The headroom in the rear is not among the best out there, just being honest. And also, there are 2 ISOFIX anchor points on each side. There are no covers for this, by the way. Oh, also the seats are fabric. They're still nice to sit on, but here in the middle is a little bit harder than usual. So this is the engine of the 2022 Honda HRV base variant, the S variant. It's a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that produces 120 horsepower and 145 Newton meters of torque. Based on the reviews, no one's mentioning how come having the same figures as the Honda Cities. This is not totally based on the Honda City. It's more the Honda Civic Turbo engine without the turbocharger. So as you can see, there's that model name of the engine right here. So driving the all-new 2022 Honda HRV S. Also, by the way, I'll be driving the Turbo soon. So stay tuned for that. So since we're here in Shanghai, let's floor it. Of course, being a naturally aspirated engine, it will scream a lot. But I do like its driving dynamics. For me personally, it just feels like a beefed up Honda City. And also, being the base variant, you don't have a sport mode. There are only 2 driving modes for this base variant. But I can say the paddle shifters, look. Despite being a CVT, you have manual mode. And actually, it's kind of fun to drive. This is what I still like about Hondas. Their handling, they're probably among one of the best driving dynamics. Even for as a daily, this is one of the best. Yeah, I do like these paddle shifters. They do something like every other Honda I tested so far. And performance wise, yes, it's not gonna be like as fast as the City, but I mean, look, it's not too bad. This is normal mode. For a daily use, it is perfect. I mean, look, I'm traveling around what, 80 kilometers per hour, and overtaking surprisingly easy. And I see there's a market for this. Yes, not everyone can afford an extra 350,000 pesos for this turbo variant. So I understand why this still exists in the first place. And as you can see, handling, yes, there is body roll, but it is not too bad. And to be honest, it's not like some of its competition. And unlike some of its competition, the handling, I must say, this is also probably one of the best. So I cannot wait to drive the V Turbo variant. And high speeds, and here on Shanghai, surprisingly, haven't been here in years. It's good paved now, so the tire noise is not that much. Also, as you heard earlier, 70-80 kilometers per hour, the tire noise is not that much. So highway speeds, you won't have an issue. Being honest only, being a naturally aspirated engine, it could get loud. However, at least there's the manual mode and the use of paddle shifters. That's what I also like with this base brand. They didn't take out the paddle shifters, unlike the Honda Civic, which is a very weird thing. And also there's sport mode, but it's not in the button. As I said earlier, you have to use it within your gear lever. Okay, sport mode is Okay, sport mode responds way better. Oh, this is great. And also, yes, being a bit heavier than the Honda CTs, the GM6 and the GN6, if not mistaken, the fuel economy could hamper a bit since this is a heavier car, but I can confirm this is not too bad. So where is that? So I've been averaging 7.2 kilometers per liter. That is 1 kilometer per liter less than the Honda City. That is not bad at all. Sport mode. Okay, this is a weird thing. You can put sport mode here in the gear lever and then put eco mode. So I'll probably leave that on at all times if I own this car. Okay, I did notice, of course, being a naturally aspirated engine, 60 to 80 kilometers per hour could take a while. I mean, what, like 10 seconds? And I heard the official time of this is 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 12.1 seconds. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but that's pretty zippy enough for me. And of course, driving dynamics, as I said earlier, this is pretty fun. And take a corner really fast. Yeah, there's not much. There is budding, but it is not as much as one might expect. Visibility, yeah, the C-pillar might be a little, might get in the way just a little bit, but knowing this is a subcompact crossover, you'll be fine. There's 60, 80 kilometers per hour. Listen to that. That's not, there's not much tires. That is really impressive. I will go to a rougher road just in a bit since we're here in Shanghai. And NVH installation, pretty excellent as well. And look, overtaking. Okay, that is pretty zippy enough. So I've heard from veteranos of autodeal.com.ph, this might tend to struggle within, if you're going up to the Tito question, to Baguio, since they were able to test it in Tagaytay. So I want to confirm that, but so far here, like faster paces, it's performing as much as I want, to be honest. It's, as I said earlier, it is really fun to drive. For now, I cannot wait how the turbo variant will go, and going over rumble strips, that is pretty comfortable. And watch overtaking. Okay, that is not bad at all. Surprisingly, I know the one I'm gonna mention are compact crossovers like the Ford Territory, Cherry Tiggo 7 Pro. This performs just slightly better. And this is also, again, what I like with Honda. The CVTs are also among one of the best. Every Honda I've driven so far, they take all the boxes. But the thing is, I don't know what I'll take. But for a crossover, this HRV base variant so far is not too bad. I do highly recommend this now. There, yeah, see, faster paces, it will tend to scream a lot. Let's not get away with that. And here again, rumble strip. The NVH of this new HRV is, I'll be honest, is way better than the old one. And I think it's also among one of the best I've tried so far against its competition, like the Coolray and my ever favorite Chevrolet Tracker. This NVH performs just slightly better. And here, let's go to a rougher road and try out the tire noise. Okay, the tire noise so far, that's not bad. I've been going to blocks just around here in Evia. I haven't been here in years. I miss this place. Anyway, here, so maneuverability in tighter spaces is surprisingly easy. And going over humps and bumps, and also, as I said earlier, this has higher ground clearance than the V Turbo. Going over them is easy. And then here, look, rougher roads. Yet, this is also probably the best NVH. I can confirm it now. Usually, like its competition, the GD Coolray, the Chevrolet Tracker, you can hear a lot of tire noise. At rougher roads, like this, this one is not bad at all. And I noticed driving it a bit more. In D mode, there's just a slight delay only. Normal and eco mode. Watch, I'll just floor it now. There's just a slight delay only, but it's so fun. You can put sport mode and eco mode on. Even though you have eco mode on or off in sport mode, the car responds to my command. Since we're here, let's go to a full test with this HRV. Let's try a little bit of off-roading. The Rocky car park here in Justin Evia. Yeah, so if you're planning to go light off-roading, Okay, this HRV, I do highly recommend it. I mean, look, you have the ground clearance, you have surprisingly still the comfort. Yeah, soaking up the bumps and humps really, really well. And also, turning radius with this HRV is not as wide as you think. I know some of the compact crossovers, subcompact crossovers, or crossovers in general, tend to have wide turning circles. Not this one, surprisingly. Okay, I did notice a little bit uphill. Yes, in the mode, eco mode, I do notice it might tend to struggle ever so slightly. But if you just put it in sport mode, going uphill will be easy. So I assume going up a mountain road like Baguio and Tagaytay Highlands, just leave it in sport mode all the way, so you won't have a hard time. As I said earlier, it's just like a beefed up Honda City. Well, to be honest, it kinda is. That's what I like about this Honda HRV. Though yes, the price, as I mentioned, could be a bit steep for some. I'm just referring to the V Turbo, but I understand why this base variant exists in the first place. Dig this Honda HRV base variant so far. So yet again, I cannot wait on how the turbo variant will drive. But yes, but what else can I say about this? Also, its price, it's on par with the competition. Like I said, the Geely Coolray and the Chevrolet Tracker. But knowing this is a Honda, I highly recommend this. This is not bad at all. So yeah, what else can I say with this all new 2022 HRV S base variant? So hopefully there will be HRV V Turbo variant soon. So I would like to thank Miss Pam, Sir Arnold, Miss Rycel, and Honda Alabang for allowing me to have a very long test drive with this Honda HRV. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more future car reviews and more Honda reviews as well. Bye bye.